Back to Locked On Blue Jays, baby. Come on. It's Tuesday. You got to get amped on a Tuesday, Ben. Chicken Strip put in quite a performance last night, and we got thinking, how good is this rotation and how good is this lineup? We're going to rank them against the rest of the league.
I'm trying to get amped, but that game was delayed 2 hours, and I I stayed up for the whole thing, and now I'm very, very tired.
Got to get amped, Ben, because we've got a fun Tuesday episode coming up. It's all on Locked On Blue Jays, and it happens to be right now.
You are Locked On Blue Jays, your daily Toronto Blue Jays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for making Locked On Blue Jays your first listen every day. We are free. We're available wherever you get your podcast. Listen, the Toronto Blue Jays won a baseball game 8-0 last night over the Royals. What this means? It was a snooze fest of baseball. It really was. It was not an exciting game at all whatsoever. So we thought, what are we going to talk about today? And we looked at the positives of this game. Chicken Strip was a god on the bump, like he does when he starts. And the lineup was great. So we thought, instead of just saying, whoa, Chicken Strip was good and the lineup was good, we thought we'd rank them against the rest of the league. And before we get to that, I'm going to let you know that this episode is brought to you by Rock Auto. They got an amazing selection. They got reliably low prices. All the parts your car will ever need. Visit rockauto.com and tell them Locked On sent you. Maybe tell them Matty Bones and Ben sent you. So let's get into it, Ben. I'm going to start with this lineup. A lineup that arguably has some of the most star power in the league because you got Barrios, Manoah, and Gosman there. The numbers haven't been there for Barrios so far this season. Only a couple of starts where he's really shined to his full potential. But he's a guy that when he's on, he's on. And we did an episode a little while back where we ranked Barrios against the rest of the AL. And I look back on that episode and think we botched a little bit.
I think he botched a little bit. I think we also, wait, are we doing the rotation or the lineup? I could be up till 1 a.m. doing the game, but I thought you said let's do the lineup and then start talking about the pitchers. But my brain's in a whole foggy place right now.
We can do the lineup if you like, Ben.
No,
Your
let's just do the
foggy brain.
rotation. Let's just do the rotation. We're already
Ben's got brain fog over here.
I do.
Okay, so let's do this rotation. A rotation that on paper is very good and one that should be able to win you a World Series if every guy can come through. But you never know what those really look like. But all we do know is that pitching oftentimes wins championships, and the Jays have good pitching. Maybe not the best in the league, but they have good pitching. How would you like to do this, Ben? Would you like me to read off teams, or would you just like to?
And we just say like better than
team?
worse, and
We can go division by division here. Yeah.
Sure, and then we'll see how many teams are ahead of the Jays, and I guess we'll know where we don't. So we don't have to rank everyone else because we don't care if like how we stack up the Guardians and the White Sox. It's more just like where do the Jays fall in line.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Let's do that.
So let's start in the AL East.
Yeah.
I feel like they're kind of automatically already above the Red Sox and the Orioles.
Yes, I would agree they are above.
Even though Michael Walker did pitch a gem last night, I don't think that they can
Good for
really
him.
touch what they've got going. In terms of the Rays, that's some good competition, I think. The Rays obviously have great pitching, and they've got just random guys that they churn out, and they got random dudes starting. I'm going to say that I would probably take the Rays over the Jays.
I'm looking at it right now.
You got Shane McClanahan, Drew Rasmussen, and Corey Kluber who start every and Ryan Yarbrough, but he kind of stinks. But those first three guys all have sub-4 ERA. Shane McClanahan a 2.1, and he also has struck out 89 batters in 64 and a third innings. I mean, that guy's on a mission. And then they
just don't really have like four starters. Even that's kind of the thing.
Yeah,
like Yarbrough's their
they use work.
I know that's why it's hard for me to rank because like their guys who are pitching well don't even pitch any innings. They yank them really quick. Like they average. McClanahan is the most he at least averages like 6 innings to start. But like Kluber averages 5 flat. And Rasmussen averages like less than 5.
This is accurate.
Springs has been great, but he literally goes like 2.5 innings every time he goes out there. I think I agree with you, but like the Rays have kind of annoyed me in this debate because they like don't have a real. They just don't like have authentic starters.
They don't have a traditional starting rotation
Yeah,
or traditional pitching, but what they do have, I think, is better than what Toronto has.
yeah.
What they can throw out there on the mound at any given moment is better than what the Blue Jays have to offer. So I'm going to have to go with the Rays here, and we kind of see it work for them so often. And they're fourth in the league right now in ERA. I know ERA isn't everything, but it is a baseline stat that shows you how many runs they're giving up. As a team, they're fourth in the MLB right now in terms of ERA. So,
What I will say, like specifically talking about the rotation, and I am going to agree with you, but the Rays are 17th in Major League Baseball in starting pitcher WAR, below the Blue Jays, below the Red Sox, below the Yankees, because they just don't pitch any innings. So
yeah, well, I think what that kind of shows you is that they don't have guys who can go deep at all, like you said. They just have a bunch of dudes that can fill in at any given point, and they just all kind of amalgamate to like a whatever war. All right, so I think we both agree the Yankees right now are better than them as well. So I'd stick them third in the AL East, which is respectable because it's a division with pretty solid pitching. All right, on to the Central, a division that stinks out loud. I'm kind of willing to bet that I'm going to think that they're better. Detroit and Cleveland might surprise me here. Detroit
everyone's
was a
hurt on
team.
Detroit. Everyone's hurt on
This is
Detroit,
true.
though.
This is accurate. But I mean, the guys they are throwing out, they do win a decent amount of games. They just don't have any offense. Yeah, everyone is hurt on Detroit. Erod's gone, Pineda's gone, Tyler Alexander's hurt. But how about my guy Tarek Skubal, a 2.15 ERA and almost 60 innings? I mean, that's pretty solid. But they do throw out random guys like Bo Brisky.
Yeah, like it's hard for
That's how you
them to
pronounce that.
even compete right now. Like I'd want to like reassess later in the year almost.
I think I would take the Jays ultimately based upon the fact that they don't have like 5 guys that they can rely on to be healthy and throw out there. The guys they have are pretty solid. Like what's Casey Mize done this year? Oh wait, he's on the 60-day IL.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone's hurt. Eduardo Rodriguez, like he hasn't been healthy and hasn't been great even when he's there.
I'll take the Jays' health over the Tigers' wealth currently.
Yeah, I even think with all the Tigers healthy, personally, I'd probably take the Jays. The Tigers have like 3 rookies in their rotation healthy, and I just don't like that.
That's fair. Cleveland's kind of the only other team that poses a threat in the division. I don't really. The White Sox could be good.
The White Sox, if Lance Lynn was healthy, maybe, but like we'll go look over it, but I don't really see that. See, pushing the envelope. I kind of take the Jays over the Guardians. They bottom out so hard. Like Plesac's 4.72 and then Savali's 8 ERA.
Yeah, that is a thing. But McKenzie and Bieber and Quantrill are all really good. Like, I think. Go ahead.
Both Manoah and Gausman have better ERAs than all 3 of those guys.
Sure, absolutely. That's where the Jays kind of have a little edge. But you talk about those guys. Hyunjin Ryu, I know he's not starting and we got hurt, but he had a 5.33 and Barrios has a 5.24. So when you kind of compare those things, it's like, I guess. But like, Stripling also has a 3.65, but we've seen him blow up in the bullpen. And is he really a starter? I guess he is right now. I think I'd take the Jays, but it's a lot closer than you think. Just because when Barrios and is bad, dude, it's like it doesn't even give him a chance to win. So I'm gonna go Toronto, but it's mighty close.
I would agree with you there. I do think it's very close, and the Guardians do have very good pitching.
How about those
White
White
Sox?
Sox? A team that was supposed to come in and win the division handily and stinks, which is
They got pretty good
mightily.
starting pitching.
They do.
Looking at it.
Yeah. I mean, well, they have
Keuchel is
star
not
power
on their
out
team,
the
by the
wazoo.
way, anymore. So I don't know like how we count that.
I think
Like,
we don't count them.
That makes them look way better then, because Cueto's been solid.
Cueto has been good, which is like fun. I love Cueto. I love when he's
Cueto
actually
too.
good.
Yeah.
I would take the White Sox over them.
Yeah, I think so too, because you also do have the lurking, like Lance Lynn will come back, and then this is boosted a lot. So yeah, I'll take the White Sox too, which I don't think is any shame. They were expected to be one of the best rotations in baseball.
And you talk about Dylan star power. Yeah, Dylan Cease, Lucas Giolito, Michael Kopech, all just flame-throwing guys who are just fantastic. So I like all three of those guys, and like you said, Cueto's filled in really, really nicely. So I'll go with the White Sox here. The Royals, they don't have a shot in this conversation. They just objectively don't.
They don't have a shot.
So we head on to the AL West.
We have three teams ranked above the Jays right now, by the way. So we have the Jays.
Let's speed through the AL West so we can get through this, because we are up against our first break. The Angels, I would have said like 2 weeks ago that it was close, but we've. I mean, this is an 11.
The Blue Jays broke the Angels.
Yeah, and their numbers look good. I won't say that they don't. Like, they do look pretty solid in terms of numbers, but nah. Nah, dude. I mean, like,
their starters also do go every 6 days because of what they do with Ohtani, which gives them a little bit of an advantage in terms of numbers as well.
And Syndergaard's last few starts have been terrible. Patrick Sandoval is really the only guy there who's like continued to be a beast, even though his ERA's gone up almost a full point.
Jays blew him up when they went off against him.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with the Jays in terms of the Angels. The AL West is another division where it's kind of interesting. I'd say the Astros have a good shot, but like I don't really think another team does.
Yeah, I look at the Astros and I probably lean in their direction.
I do too. I mean, Verlander at 39 is just shoving. Like, he's just so good. I think it's kind of hard not to take him.
And Framber Valdez, like, I don't even love quality starts as a stat because I don't think 6 innings and 300 runs is that good. But when you've had 9 quality starts in your 11 starts,
you're doing something.
That means that your team has a chance to win every single game because the worst you've done is 6 innings and 300 runs. So he's gross. Luis Garcia is gross. Yeah, we don't need to say more. Rangers are an interesting one just because of Perez, I feel like.
Perez is good, and he actually has a Cy Young candidacy campaign here.
Oh, everyone else stinks. Never mind.
But everyone else is bad. I was about to say, Perez is great. Everyone else is just terrible. So you can't really give him anything. It's kind of the same thing with the Mariners. Like, Logan Gilbert's really good. Marco Gonzalez is pretty solid. George Kirby's fine, but he's only started 6 games. Everyone else is just terrible. So the Mariners are off my list too.
Bobby Ray, I feel for him.
The A's actually have a shot, though. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Oakland, Frankie Montas, Paul Blackburn, Cole Irvin, they've all been really, really good. I think I still would take the Jays probably, but Oakland is good. Like, they've been good.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably still lean Jays because there's also a little more proven quantity for the Jays.
I think one of those guys is like
Irvin could just
fall off.
Yeah, Irvin could get blown up any day of the week. You know, like, these guys are pitching with the pressure of knowing they're going to get like 1 run of support a game, and they've done well so far. But I still think I lean Jays, which would have us at the Jays having the 4th ranked rotation in the American League, which I feel pretty good about. I feel like that's I think some people would say 5th and some would say 3rd, but like, we're in the range, you know?
Yes, we are in the range. If you want to get in the range on some of your auto parts in terms of pricing, head to rockauto.com. Save time, save money when using Rock Auto. Why choose to spend 30%, 50%, even 100% more for the same parts from a chain store or car dealership when you could just go to Rock Auto and get a fuel pump for your Odyssey for almost $150 less and retail. Rock Auto is a family business serving do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years. And guess what? It's a family business. It's for families, man. They have everything you could ever need: brake parts, tail lamps, motor oil, and even new carpets for your car. You got to go explore their easy-to-use website today to find the solution to your auto part needs. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck. Right locked on in there. How did you hear about us box? So they know we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com. And we have an important favor to ask you. We put together a survey so we can learn more about our listeners like you and make your favorite Locked On podcast even better. This is your opportunity to tell us what you like and what you don't like about Locked On Podcast. Go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey right now to get started. It won't take very long, and everyone that completes a survey can qualify for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Ticketmaster gift cards. To take our audience survey, go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey. Thanks for your help. All right, Ben, it's time to rank these offenses, which I think is going to get a little more muddy. I don't know if we're going to agree on everything, and we're probably going to have to go a lot quicker on these than we did on the
Yes,
last
we
ones.
do have to go a lot, but which sucks because this is going to be much harder
This is going to be much more difficult.
rank.
We botched, but that's life. The Jays offense is a good one. This is not a bad offense, but it has been faltering more than I'd like to say. Right now, they're fifth in the MLB in terms of OPS, and they've been hitting home runs. They've been driving in runs. Their average might not be where they'd like it to be, but it's not bad by any means. They're hitting 246 as a team, which is good for eighth in the league. So they're doing pretty well.
And they're doing really well recently. Like the last 2-3 weeks have looked exactly like what we thought the offense would look like. It was just kind of a bad start.
It could be even better if guys like Vladimir Guerrero turn into what everybody probably thought he was going to be.
Hit another homer yesterday.
It's true. He absolutely did, and that's your hype train, no?
It is my hype train. I'm expecting him to hit like a homer a game, so maybe he'll get another one tonight.
That'd be good for him. I think the AL East is going to be what's tough here for the Jays because there's a lot of offense there. The Yankees and the Red Sox are both really, really good teams in terms of what they can do because Trevor Story has just been insane. He has cooled off recently and hasn't been just hitting a home run every single game, but the dude, he was ridiculous for a second. Just stupid. But Rafael Devers has also been fantastic for them. He's hitting 340 and 970 OPS. JD Martinez has a 937 or 973 OPS, and he's hitting 360. Like they just have guys who hit baseballs, and it's insane. Their outfield kind of stinks, which definitely doesn't help them. All guys under 700 OPS. And Story is considerably gotten worse. He's got a 750 OPS, which is pretty average. It's above average, but it's fine. But the dude did go on just a crazy streak of just putting them back in the win column.
No, he was amazing. And I would think that I would take the Red Sox here. They are the highest runs per game offense in the American League, but you could argue they've gotten a little bit lucky in a way with the timing of their hits because where the Blue Jays got unlucky at the beginning of the year because the Jays have a higher OPS than they do.
It's actually it's close for different reasons. It's not for the same reasons. It's not close, right? The Red Sox just have two guys in their lineup that just they're like Tony Gwynn. It's insane.
Yeah.
And the Jays don't have that, but the Jays also have a pretty sound lineup front to back, which the Red Sox do not have. So it's close for weird reasons.
I think I would take Jays, and we do miss some of the minutia with other teams because we know the Jays better than we know the Red Sox. We don't watch every game of theirs and podcast it, but the numbers are lower than they will be for the Jays. Bo Bichette had a ridiculous month of May, and he's still getting his numbers back up to where they should be. Teoscar Hernandez is heating up like crazy, and he still is not nearly where his numbers will land. Lourdes Gurriel's in one of his hot streaks. He's going to bring his numbers up even more. I just think with the numbers being close, I lean Jays because I think that I like the lineup more just from looking at it and then factoring in that they're consistently improving as we kind of go on with the year. I think I lean Jays over Red Sox.
I'll take the Jays here too, because if you just compare in the OPS numbers, the Jays have 5 guys with an OPS above 700, and the Red Sox have 6. But 2 of the guys that are under for the Jays are Teoscar Hernandez and Lourdes Gurriel, which if the season finished and that were true, something would have gone terribly wrong. So you have to imagine, like you said, Ben, that those guys are going to get better, that the lineup in turn is going to get better. So I'm going to go Blue Jays here as well, but it's a narrow victory.
Yeah, and I will say, and we don't have a ton of time, so I won't.
Yeah, we are really we're dragging this out.
Matt Chapman is another guy with an OPS under 700, but like, don't blink, his batting average is up to 220. Remember when he was hitting like 185? Like, there's clearly these guys are starting to heat up a lot more. So yeah, sometimes you have to project forward a little bit. But let's keep going.
Yeah,
Yankees. What do you think? Or sorry.
No. Go ahead. The Yanks are interesting because Aaron Judge is on another planet. Giancarlo Stanton just got back from injury. He's playing well. Rizzo's been good, but his average is just terrible. And Glaber's kind of having a bounce back year. But outside of that, nobody really jumps off of the page. And Joey Gallo and Aaron Hicks are just like so
putrid.
bad.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing is like it wouldn't be close if they didn't start 3 guys with 650 or lower OPSs.
You have to imagine that lineup's going to get better. Like Joey Gallo can't have a 600 OPS all season long. I mean, he just can't. Right?
I don't think so. I don't know what Aaron Hicks is. I'll be honest, but I do agree.
Aaron Hicks is bad. That's what he is, man.
Like if Aaron Hicks has a 580 OPS the whole year, I'm not gonna like.
No, I won't blink an eye.
But yes, Joey Gallo probably won't have a 600 OPS. It's a tough one to be honest.
And I think DJ will get better too.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll get better. I do think he's not going to get like full DJ like he was a couple years ago. I almost like to think that Rizzo will hit for a better average but less power as the year goes on. Like he had a huge power surge to start the year, led MLB in homers for a little bit, and then it kind of tapered off. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
it's a difficult one because
I think if we're
really
talking
know where they're going to go.
Pure hitting, like the Yankees have a great lineup construction because the couple guys that they have in there that aren't the mammoth offensive guys are really good defenders. If we're talking pure hitting, though, I still think I'd probably lean Toronto. If we're talking like lineup and defense, then I could more reasonably go over to the Yankee side where, I mean, even Joey Gallo, for all his 601 OPS, is like a really good corner outfielder. And like like Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is playing a very solid middle infield and stuff like that. So
it's super close.
What do you think?
It's hard. It's really hard because these are both teams that have good offenses, and the Yankees are really up there, just with Toronto in terms of all those statistics we mentioned before. I think I'm going to go for New York here because if everybody's healthy, they're really they're insane. The lineup's stupid, and if Joey Gallo actually shows up and does anything, they're crazy again. So, I'm going to go New York, but it's very close. It's a very, very close. Probably the closest we're going to have.
I'll concede that a lot because the Yankees have the highest OPS in the American League and highest OPS plus. So men and women lie, but numbers do not. So I'll side with the Bronx Bombers. No other offense in the division's coming close, right? Like we're not.
No, it's
the Rays offense.
Okay. Quickly,
AL Central offense.
Well, before we get to the AL Central, I want to just get our last ad out so we can just hit down the home stretch. Built Bars. Don't you love a chewy, chocolatey brownie, Ben? What about a caramel brownie with caramel swirled on top? So good. What if I told you that you can have all that chewy, chocolatey deliciousness plus 17 grams of protein? You're in luck because caramel brownie bars are available at Built.com right now, and you gotta act fast because they're a fan favorite. Forget about dessert. These are better than dessert. Plus, the macros are unreal. 130 calories, 17 grams of protein, and only 4 grams of sugar. I would replace a regular brownie with Built's caramel brownie bar in a heartbeat. The best part, caramel brownie bars are covered in 100% real chocolate, like for real chocolate. With Built, with Built, you don't have to sacrifice tasty for healthy. You can have both. And all Built bars are made with collagen protein, which your body absorbs more efficiently and provides tons of health benefits. There are a million reasons that you should try Built bars, but for now, let's just say that caramel brownie will rock your world. That's not an understatement. With Built, tasty is the new healthy. Go to Built.com to get your box of caramel brownie bars now, and go to Built.com to use promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off your order. Use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com. All right.
Anyone in the AL Central even stand a chance?
He just got right back to it. No, I don't really think anybody does. I think we move on. I mean, Jose Ramirez is crazy, but nobody else in that lineup is, so we're going to move on.
Yeah, I mean, if they could score runs, to be fair, they have scored runs early, but like if they could score runs consistently, they would have been a much different team over the last while. Okay, the Angels.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Angels right now.
I mean,
nah, I don't think so, man.
It's a no.
Taylor Ward just got hurt too.
Yeah, it's like, would I want the lineup with Mike Trout, Taylor Ward, and Shohei Ohtani? Probably.
Trout's been terrible lately, though.
I know, but he's also
terrible right now.
He broke the hitless stretch last time.
I know,
so good for him.
It's still like,
and he is also the type of guy to go 0 for 26 and have like a 970 OPS while he's slumping. So it's like,
yeah. I mean,
he'll be fine.
He's gone 1 for 28 over that stretch. Of course, he'll be fine. But his average dropped from 310 to 276,
yeah.
which
Jays
is like
broke him.
kind of insane, man.
Jays broke him.
They did.
Jays broke Trout. Okay, Houston. Is Houston the only other team with a shot?
Houston's got a shot. But
they score fewer runs per game than the Jays.
Jordan Alvarez is ridiculous, but like Altuve's good.
Jordan.
Kyle Tucker's good, but I don't know if anybody else is. I mean, where is Alex Bregman? What is he doing? Who is he? He's hitting 217 with 6 home runs and 28 RBIs. Like, that's bad. He doesn't have his OPP and slugging are both below 400. So, I'm sorry. I'm just going on a where is Alex Bregman?
Yeah, I think he would like to take those numbers and throw them in the trash can, no pun intended, because it seems like since those have been around, he hasn't been hitting as much. Yeah, I don't think they're deep enough. Like you said, they got some guys.
I take the Jays.
Former Chatham Angler Jeremy Pena, my guy, but it's Jays. Seattle, like you could have told me this year, Seattle would have been there, and I would have been like, I could see it if like Winker's Winker and everyone's rocking it. But everyone's not rocking it. Eugenio is one of the only guys who is
not rocking
it. Like,
yeah, no one is rocking it.
Eugenio's their best.
Ty France is good.
Last time I looked, yeah, Ty France is good. That's former Fort Wayne Tin Cap Ty France.
This guy won't stop.
We've gotten to this part of the episode. JP Crawford is good at baseball. Adam Frazier has a 637 OPS, and he's been a part of 2 major trades in the last year. Like Eugenio's their home run
guy, man.
He's in 238.
Yeah, they're not very good, are they? They got 2 guys. Outside of that, they got nothing.
They traded Kendall Graveman for Abraham Toro, who's hitting 168 with a 567.
That was an insane trade. Like, really just a perplexing trade. So what does that make them? They're better than – I'd say that they were worse.
We only ranked one team. Only one team better than them, the Yankees.
Wow.
I think that's fair. I think so. What do you think? People are going to be angry?
I think other people would call us crazy for that. But I do want to hear what the Blue Jays fans have to say. Do you think we're being too nice to them?
I don't know. Like I think a lot of people would look at the runs per game and be like, "What are you talking about?" But if you segment the last 3 weeks, like they've been the best offense in the American League. So it's it's hard to know. I think some people would rank the Red Sox ahead of them. I think some people would rank the Yankees behind them. So I feel like 2 is a good spot.
Well, who did you rank in front of them?
We both ranked I agreed on the Yankees ranking in front of them.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Toronto.
I swear, I flopped. Should we do our this days quickly? I think we did promise.
Oh, sure. Let's do a quick this day. Sure. I totally forgot about our this day in history. I got to pull mine back up.
I can get mine first if you
go
want.
Ahead. Go ahead.
Mine's an interesting one. I kind of like it. We go back. Oh, do I have to pull mine up too? No, I think I got it. We go back to 1989 in front of 45,000 fans at the Sky Dome on June 7th. The Blue Jays play in the first ever game that was played both indoors and outdoors because they used their new fancy retractable roof in the middle of that game with dark clouds threatening in the fifth inning. Kind of like yesterday when they delayed the game for 2 hours for zero rain and made me go to sleep super late. But also in that game, the Blue Jays were playing the then American League Milwaukee Brewers, and they beat them thanks to 3 RBIs on 3 base hits from Ernie Witt. This is kind of a fun one. Soon to be Blue Jay Paul Molitor is on the other side. Just a good matchup in general. And I don't know. I like the indoor outdoor aspect. We take that for granted, but the Sky Dome kind of started that. So
yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one from you. Mine goes back to 2009, where the Jays on June 7th were also playing the Royals. How funny is that? In that game, something happened that we'll probably never see again, in which both starters went 9 innings. They both went the complete game. One of them had a shutout. That was Doc Halladay. The other, Kyle Davies, let up 4 earned, and the Jays took a 4-0 victory in that one. Poor Aaron Hill got hit by a pitch. He probably had a big wilt after that one. But that's a fun game. I love Roy Halladay just because he once said that he couldn't make the ball go straight if he tried. And I always thought that was such a great quote because it just encapsulates him as a pitcher entirely. But that's a fun game, man. Kyle Davies, they sweated out a game he was never going to win. And we'll never see that again in baseball. All right. Thank you for making Locked On Blue Jays your first listen today. Now make your second listen. The Locked On MLB podcast. MLB expert Paul Francis Sullivan brings humor, passion, and a unique perspective on every team and the biggest stories around the league. Follow the #1 daily league-wide podcast, Locked On MLB, on the Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. Ben and I will be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.